Good evening, SFL Nation, and welcome to Tacoma, Washington, the site of tonight's matchup between two teams who are unfortunately going in opposite directions. It's the Lincoln Rattlesnakes invading the Tacoma Grizzlies. With the Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL headquarters, this is T-Roy Gaines, and my partner tonight is my newest Baltimore family member, Alden Bleeker, and everyone was set the stage for this contest. Tacoma lost last week's action, which is their fifth in a row, while Lincoln got the dub last week. Is now a part of a three-way tie for second place. Alden, first off, how's it going, my fellow Be More family member, and what are your thoughts for tonight's game?
Well, tonight's my first game called as a Baltimore Vulture, as you say, partner, and I hope it's only the first of many successful collaborations in our future as teammates. But as for this game, you've got one team mathematically eliminated and one team looking to take their destiny into their own hands. Lincoln can secure their playoff spot tonight with a win and a bit of help in the form of a San Jose and an Albuquerque loss, but they are dead focused on doing what they can control to get there. And that all starts with a win in this game over a Tacoma team who's very dangerous because they have nothing to lose.
Well, Tacoma will have their chance to get the ball first. Can they end their 5-game losing streak, or will Lincoln win their third in a row? The game is underway as Hudson James kicks it off. It's fielded inside the 10, and Zorro Lunar takes it to the 23-yard line of Tacoma, where they'll start their first possession of the game. And let's go over the offensive stars for the Grizzlies. It is the Jackson duo at quarterback and running back, with King Jackson and Bean Jackson. Wide receivers are Andrew Gibson, Rob Hunt, and Zorro Lunar. Eddie Maddox and White Knot Arrowlet are the tight ends. Tyler Spencer is the tackle. Those are your offensive stars for the Grizzlies. This will be a quick drop, deep pass, and what a diving catch for the first down. Touchdown at the 48-yard line by Andrew Gibson. Let's go over the defensive stars for the Rattlesnakes real quick. At the defensive line is Brooke Burr and Anthony Robertson. The linebackers are Montezuma and Clay. The corners are Hamburger and Joe. The safeties are Sosa, Brothers, and Swift. Those are your defensive stars for the Rattlesnakes. First and 10 at Tacoma's 48. Inside carry for 2 yards by Ben Jackson. It'll be second and 8 at midfield.
Well, and this is going to be the name of the game all day long for the defense of Lincoln to take away space. That's been their motto all season is pressure, pressure, pressure. Brookie Burr leading the league in sacks and a lot of pressure down the field as well.
Jackson gets a carry, has a nice gain. Stop at the 40-yard line, and it'll be first and 10 for the Grizzlies at Lincoln's 40. A great run by Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben Jackson has really been kind of one of the under-talked about, I think, running backs this season. Not putting up the most flashy numbers, but a very reliable hand for when his team calls on him.
And we got split backs in the backfield, first and 10 at the 40. Jackson will get the carry once again, goes up the middle, and is stopped after a 4-yard gain. It'll be second down and 6.
But again, just another opportunity, or another instance, rather, of what we were talking about earlier. A great opportunity to follow the blocks up the middle, but that space just disappeared so quickly because of the pressure being sent by Lincoln.
Formation, 2 wide receivers set, and Jackson will get his third touch of the game. He'll be stopped for a loss. Tackle made by, I want to see the number. That'll be 91 of the Rattlesnakes. Will be third and 8.
Yeah, the backup linebacker is Zeus Howard, and again, just making it so tough to navigate for Tacoma.
Quick drop, quick pass over the middle, caught for a first down, and that is Rob Hunt, the two-way player from Indianapolis, who makes the catch. His first and 10 just outside the red zone.
Well, I had this connection as one of the big offensive keys for Tacoma, this connection between King Jackson and Rob Hunt. Rob Hunt, second in most reception yards in the league going into this game with 547, and also second in receiving yards per game at 91.2. And Jackson, for that matter, is top 5 in passing completion and QB rating.
It's a great start to this opening drive. This will be the backup running back. Goes up the middle for a 9-yard gain. Tackle made by Hamburger, but great job by Wallman with that great 9-yard carry.
Yeah, using the backup running back and perhaps just trying to set up something for a pass on second down. They end up getting 9 yards, though, effective even when they're not necessarily trying to be our Tacoma.
Here we go, 2nd and 1. And this time Jackson will get the carry, goes up the middle. Great job getting to the 9-yard line, averaging 3.8 yards of carry so far. In this drive, it's first and goal at the 9.
Yeah, and Ben Jackson just doing such a good job for Tacoma here, running this offense, and we thought that it was going to be a big focus on King Jackson and the Rob Hunt connection, but so far it's been a big run game for Tacoma.
Yeah, and they continue going the ground game. Good job by number 75 of the Rattlesnakes, Jansen, with that tackle. It'll be 2nd down. Excuse me.
Yeah, and this is really the point where you've got to stand up if you're Lincoln. I mean, Tacoma not really having any sort of high expectations on them this game, but they've been able to march down the field here on this first drive.
Offset I. Jackson's making the adjustments at the line here on the 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line. Quick pass over the middle. Ooh. That was lucky. That was not picked off by number 91. And Mr. Zeus Howard makes his 2nd play of this drive.
Yeah, really making himself felt, fighting for those starting minutes that he has yet to get here in the SFLm.
Eventually, he's going to be saying, hey, Lincoln, give me a contract here. 3rd and go.
Practice just squad or something.
Right. Just like the last 3rd down attempt, no backs in the backfield. Jackson drops back, fires on the middle, well short of the 1st down. Pass is caught by Hunt. Great job by the Rattlesnakes defense to hold them, bend, but not break. They're going to go for a field goal attempt.
Yeah, and it just all is down to how smothering Lincoln can be on defense. You know, it's not just their ability to break the pocket, it's their ability to get deep in the secondary. We saw that great swat on the previous play, and what was looking like a sure touchdown drive for Tacoma has fizzled thanks to the defensive effort by Lincoln.
It's basically the length of the extra point. Trick kicks it up, and it is good. And Tacoma strikes first. It's a 3-0 lead with 5:57 left in the first quarter. And if you're new to SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and the role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on a virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL is football for everyone. And this kick is for Griffiths, who gets it. Goes up the middle, stop at the 30-yard line. And that's where the Rattlesnakes will start their opening drive. Let's go over their offensive stars real quick. The Rattlesnakes quarterback is Kenny Slider. The running back, Logan Lee. Easy Money, John Fullerton, along with Caleb Griffiths and Hibby Mossam King are the wide receivers. The tight ends are Chris Altair and Levante Richardson, and the kicker is Hudson James. Those are your offensive stars for the Rattlesnakes. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 30. Huge step back for Slider. Out route successful for a 4-yard gain. And pass is caught by number 11. That's Easy Money. John Fullerton. Let's go over to defensive stars for the Grizzlies. It'll be Darko Young and Oliver Ridge at the ends. Linebackers are Sky and Crawford. The corner is Nano Matthews. The safeties are Bradshaw, Clay, and Lawrence. Those are your defensive stars for Tacoma. It's now 2nd and 6 for the Rattlesnakes with a power I formation. And it'll be a swing pass to Lee, who catches it. Nice spin move. He's trying to act like he's Warren Murray on that reception. A 1st down for Lincoln.
Man, and Logan Lee just look at that, sends 2 men flying to the sidelines with this spin move. I mean, just the athleticism. I mean, it was a great little pitch and catch by King Jackson or by by Kenny Slider, excuse me, the quarterback for Lincoln on a corner route, and just dotting up his receivers here so far.
And he'll have no backs to the backfield on this play. Fires it to the left, and it's caught for a first down. The receiver didn't care. He was about to get blown up. Pass is caught by one of the role-playing wide receivers, number 84, Caleb Walker.
Well, and I had this down on my notes that one of Tacoma's big defensive keys is to have sort of a bend don't break mentality built into their game plan, because when you try to go after Lincoln, they can do stuff like this, just dictate the tempo and keep you on your back foot.
Here we go, first and 10 at the 39 of Tacoma. Quick pass is caught for a first down and more. Out route successful, pass is caught by Griffiths. The first and 10 at the 25.
And this has been a demonstration of how it has been that Kenny Slider has gotten to third in total passing yards. That's 1,500 even, and third in passing yards per game at 250 even. You know, he's been the leader of the third best offense in the SFLm, and this is really what they can do when they're at their most dangerous.
One of the best things about Slider, his interceptions is that currently at 6, one of the fewest from the quarterbacks in this league. This will be a pass over the middle, caught, and unfortunately, Timothy Mossam King paid for that, but fortunately for the Rattlesnakes, he makes the catch to be first and 10 at the 12.
Yeah, a little bit of tall ball there. A young Jack Wall is somewhere out there taking notes. That is just a fantastic play and such a reliable connection for Logan Slider. You know, you can be one of the most talented quarterbacks in the world, but you still got to have those receivers that can make those elite catches like we just saw there.
Yeah, in spite of the fact that number 22 Clay laid the wood on him, but doesn't matter. This will be a pass to a fullback. I guess Lincoln's trying to make me happy here with a reception to Mr. John McCool, number 42, a 4-yard gain, now second and 6.
Yeah, and that's been a bit uncharacteristic for Lincoln this drive. I mean, you know, you think any team would be happy with 4 yards, but they've been just throwing it past the sticks here so far.
Is second and 6 at the 8. They can still get a first down without getting a touchdown. Logan Lee wants a touchdown. He gets stopped 1 yard short. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Well, Logan Lee, another big part of the game plan for Lincoln, typically leading the league in rushing touchdowns and touchdowns scored per game, 9 rushing touchdowns on the season. I mean, you know, when it's been such a big part of your success as an offense, you know, why not hand the ball when you're this far down the hill?
You only need 1 yard, probably a little bit more than 1 yard here in this 3rd and 1. Pass to the middle is deflected, almost picked off. Great job by Sunny Sky, reaching those high skies to pat that ball away, and Lincoln will settle for their field goal attempt.
Yeah, some tall ball on the behalf of Tacoma, and it's pretty much the same thing that we saw, you know, 75 yards down the field, just a drive that looked like it should be a touchdown, but the defensive effort making a stall out, but it looks like they might go for it.
We'll see. It is a long one. It could be a 4th and 2. It looks like they're going to have to burn a timeout as Tacoma is doing a great job not biting, not going off sides. Good discipline by the defense of the Grizzlies. And the Rattlesnakes will waste their first timeout.
Now, I've always been, admittedly, a proponent of going for it on 4th down, even in situations where you probably shouldn't. I've lost many a Madden game that way.
Ooh.
But when you're on the enemy 3-yard line, I mean, I don't think, unless they get it like a big interception that goes all the way to the house, I don't think you really lose anything by going for it here. You know, you effectively punted and pinned them inside their 5. I think there's every argument in the world to actually go for it here, but it looks like they're going to settle for a field goal.
And Hudson James is so far 9 of 11 in field goal attempts, is now 10 of 12, and the game is tied at 3 with 2:45 left in the first quarter. Visit the all-new league website presented by Football Shift at simulationfl.net, featuring all the league highlights, photo galleries, playoff and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more. The all-new league website, simulationfl.net. Hudson James is getting ready to kick it off to Lunar of the Grizzlies, who field it inside the 10. Goes past the 20s. Nice mid move, but pays for it with a combo tackle. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 26 for the Grizzlies as they get ready to start their next possession. And Tacoma lost last week to Annapolis 20-17. Currently on a 5-game losing streak after winning their first game of the season. They look to play spoiler in the playoff hopes of the Rattlesnakes right now. It's 1st and 10 at the 26. 2:41 left in the first quarter as King gets the shotgun snap. Plenty of time. Rolled up and now fires it down the middle. Caught for a first down. At the 39-yard line by Andrew Gibson. Great job by the D-line and the running backs, giving King Jackson enough time to throw that dot.
Yeah, that was looking like it had all the makings of a coverage sack. The pocket was collapsing and moving around, but somehow, some way, he escapes double coverage to get to this ball. My mind is blown by what we just saw. Just sheer athleticism and determination not to give up on that play by Tacoma.
And as a result of that, they flipped the field on one play. They're now on Lincoln's side of the field at the 39. 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. Another pass. This one, a quick one. That should have been picked. For some reason, it wasn't. Maybe they need to get some gloves on their hands. They had a chance for interception. Burden Brothers wasn't so happy about that missed opportunity there.
Yeah, at least a little bit of stick 'em on their bare hands. I mean, look at this. This is going to get patted up in the air, and 1, 2, 3 Rattlesnakes get their hands on this one. I mean, this is just a great job running a counter route and beating his man to the mark. Does a great job, does the right thing, recognizes he can't pull it in himself. He's going to tip it up to the rest of his team, but just no hands team members near that ball, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Joe, number 27, actually had first crack at a potential interception. Looked like the ball hit his face mask. Brothers couldn't clean it up. So instead, it's now 2nd and 10 for the Grizzlies. High snap caught. Vroom! Caught for a first down. This will be a touchdown. Too easy for the second lead receiver in the SFLm, Rob Hunt. He scores the first touchdown in the game. That will be his 3rd of the season. Tacoma's up 9-3.
Man, and we talked about how this was such an important offensive aspect for Tacoma, this connection between King Jackson and Rob Hunt. But man, you think they got it working after that drive, just brutalizing the Lincoln secondary. And it all starts with that fantastic play at the very, very top of the drive with the connection on a pass that looked like it was going to end in a coverage sack. And Tacoma are looking like they're made of the stuff to shock Lincoln here so far.
Could this be a trap game for the Rattlesnakes? Right now, Tacoma is on fire. Second drive in a row results in some points. This time, 7. They're up 10-3 with 1 minute and 57 seconds left in this fast-moving first quarter. And let's congratulate King Jackson. He's now way over 1,400 yards passing. He was entering today's action needing 13 yards to reach that 1,400-yard mark. He did in style on that drive as Griffiths gets the kick inside the 10 and gets stuffed at the 25-yard line. A tackle made by Darius Tarman, It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rattlesnakes.
And it's going to be Lincoln looking to prove themselves this drive. I mean, King Jackson and his usual cohorts have had quite a good run on offense, but they're really going to be looking to stick in this one with what looks like a very tough and very ready to hang Tacoma here.
And Lee gets the carry, goes up the middle. Great blocking, great job getting skinny while running up the middle for an 8-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 2 at the 32. And the Rattlesnakes is coming off of a 2-game winning streak after mollywopping the San Jose team 41-7 in last week's action. And you see one of the great running backs, Logan Lee, who had a great run on that first carry of the drive.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as much attention as Chris Grant Jr. of Annapolis has been getting, I think you got to look at Logan Lee as one of those guys who also you can make a strong argument for him to go in the first.
Well, he gets the carry and gets combo tackle for a 1-yard gain. Number 98 for the Grizzlies, That's Matthew Sandoval, help with that combo tackle.
Yeah, and this would be such a huge stop for Tacoma. I think it's going to be all hands on deck here.
This would be a very important stop for Tacoma if they get it, and they do. A 1-yard loss. Sunny Sky, who put the end of the last possession, put the end to this drive. It's now 4th and 2, and right now the Lincoln offense is a little bit flat.
Well, and it's exactly what I had down in my notes, that one of the big defensive keys for Tacoma is having solid tackling in the secondary. You know, you have your bend don't break mentality built into your defensive game plan, and then you've got Moxie Crawford, the linebacker, and Sunny Sky, the linebacker, who both have 39 tackles going into this game. They can really shut down these drives.
And right now, the special teams of the Rattlesnakes just shut down that potential return by Lunar. Tackle him at the 30-yard line, and the Grizzlies can really put a huge dent on this game if they can march down the field and score a touchdown on this next possession.
Yeah, and Tacoma really have looked like they, besides the first drive where Lincoln were really starting to march down the field. I mean, it's really been Tacoma on the front foot all game.
And Jackson with another quick pass. It is caught for a 7-yard gain. Pass is caught by number 88. That's Why Not Arlette. Arlette, excuse me. It'll be 2nd down and 3. And that should be the last play of the first quarter. And that's it. Right now, the Grizzlies, the team with the lead. They're up. It's 10-3. You're watching the Simulation Football Minor League on YouTube. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in to tonight's game. With the Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL headquarters, this is T-Roy Games. With Alden Breaker by my side, the Baltimore crew calling this game as we get ready for 2nd down and 3 for the Grizzlies, who's up 10-3. A 1-yard gain by Jackson. Great job by the defense of the Rattlesnakes. It's 3rd and 1.
Yeah, all of a sudden, it's more or less the same situation that we saw on the other side of the ball when it was in Lincoln's hands. Really, not just an even game, but almost a mirrored game here so far.
31. Jackson will get the carry, got the first down, and a little bit more before he stopped at the 43-yard line. Combo tackle led by Monzuma, but not enough. Not until he got the first down.
Yeah, and that's going to be really big for Tacoma. I mean, you know, they keeping the ball in your hands. I think this is a big part of their offensive strategy, to just hold on to the ball for as long as they can and prevent Lincoln from even having chances to move down the field.
And it'll be a quick pass over the middle, caught for a first down by Lunar, the 6'4", 222-pounder. He averaging 10 yards per catch. It'd be 1st and 10 at the 43.
And it was a little bit of an overcommitment by Tino Sosa, the free safety for Lincoln here. You see, just takes a really good jump at that ball and does a good job running the counter route, but just not quite able to get to it. And it leaves the spot open in the middle of the field for Tacoma to throw that into and get some yards after catch to boot.
And Jackson will get the carry. Get stopped after a 2-yard gain. Man, number 91 is making his name known on this first half. Zeus Howard for another play for the Rattlesnakes. Excuse me.
Yeah, I really, and a team that's been so good at sending the pressure all season seems like they're now thinking through outside the box ways to add even more pressure.
9:05 left in the first half. 4 wide receiver set as King Jackson takes a huge step back. Great job by Rob Hunt with the toe drag swag, and the great out route is caught for a first down at the 28.
Wow, well, I couldn't tell you what was keyed into by Tacoma, but it's just these medium routes, these tall routes, these corner routes over the shoulders of the Lincoln secondary have been so effective all day long. And I don't have an exact number in front of me, but I would imagine we're getting close to Kenny Slider having, excuse me, King Jackson having 100 yards. I mean, he's just been able to throw wherever he wants, it seems like.
Same formation as the last. Out route to the opposite side. Caught by Gibson for a 3-yard gain. He's now at 64 yards receiving, 2nd and 7.
Man, and just again, it's another case, a great little pitch and catch, but that out route towards the sideline just paying dividends for Tacoma. Little connections and little chunks of yardage starting to add up here.
Hey, this looks familiar. It's the same formation. 3rd play in a row. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Jackson takes a huge step back, fires over the middle, tip, and almost picked off. Montezuma was the last person who had a chance to pick that off. It's now 3rd and 3 as he goes through the goalpost.
Yeah, he's gonna be upset with himself in the film room, because that's an instance like we see so often in the SFLm of players being trained to sort of tip the ball towards their teammates, but really nobody around. He's the only one. I mean, you gotta at least make a play there.
5 wide receiver set, and it is picked off this time. Great job by the Rattlesnakes defense. Pass is intercepted by Swift. That's his 3rd of the SFLm season, and that's the turnover the Rattlesnakes needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was kind of the reverse of what we've been seeing. A pass that was tipped by its intended target towards the person who received it. A little bit of a role reversal there. That was number 11, Rob Hunt, accidentally getting just his fingertips on that one and tipping it towards Lincoln.
Now it's 1st and 10 at the 11. 2 wide receivers to the left, a slider. Leads the lone back, and he'll get the carry. He bounces outside. He has a chance to break a long one. He has open roller ahead and got the sideline. I don't think he's going to be caught. It's going to be a huge touchdown run. This is his longest of his season. What a run by Logan Lee.
And I don't think it'll be particularly close. Logan Lee, going from deep inside their own territory, just finds a little bit of space, a little bit of daylight to exploit, and he is long gone. Nothing but green grass in front of him and blue shirts behind him. That is just a fantastic block, a fantastic job of reading where the space was, and a fantastic job of finding a way to blow it wide open. This is Lincoln firing back at their absolute best.
A 89-yard touchdown run. His previous long was 78. Logan Lee just earned his 10th touchdown of the season, and that extra point attempt is good. It's now tied at 10 with 8:08 left in the first half. The SFL convention is coming to Cincinnati, Ohio, July 28th through the 30th for season 21 kickoff weekend. For room reservation details and the weekend schedule, see the hashtag convention alerts channel in the SFL Discord server. Rooms are going fast, and some have already sold out. Reserve your special group rate today. We'll see you there. Now, I'll definitely see you there. I'm actually there right now. Yes, that return is taken to the 25-yard line as I break the 4th wall. Lunar on that return. It'll be 1st and 10, and we'll see how the Grizzlies respond to that previous possession.
Yeah, the SFL convention is going to take a group field trip to Skyline Chili, I believe, while they're in Cincinnati, taking some of the local culture.
Skyline Chili, La Rosas. Y'all gonna get the good stuff. And right now, the Rattlesnakes got the good stuff, meaning the momentum is clearly on their side. Great open field tackle by Clay. A 4-yard loss on that reception. Here we go, 2nd and 14. And it'll be another swing pass. What a spin move for a 4-yard gain by Ben Jackson, causing defenders to miss.
Yeah, and it's a great pitch and catch, but Lincoln really now starting to regain their confidence, regaining their ability to take the space away from Tacoma, and it's just been such tough sledding for Tacoma on this drive so far.
Here we go. Third down 10. A huge drop back by Jackson. Fires over the middle. And
Oh,
they're lucky that wasn't picked off again. Looks like the defense of the Rattlesnakes are adjusting. Verdon Brothers is celebrating that third down stop.
yeah, and a good job to get to it. I almost wonder if that was a bit of a calculation trying to figure out if it's better to receive the punt or if they'd be in better field position with the interception. I mean, I guess it's a tough call on the field there, but again, another situation where just players are getting their hands on the ball and it's looking incredibly dangerous.
Let's see if Griffiths can make them pay on this punt return. He fields it inside the 40 and gets stopped at the 42-yard line. As we get ready for the Rattlesnakes to start their next possession. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There's no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLm action and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you for helping the SFL reach 10 years of operation through your viewership. Shotgun formation. Slider steps up, pass over the middle. Lucky it wasn't picked off. It's a 9-yard gain instead. Pass is caught by Mr. Easy Money. Now with Seattle, John Fullerton.
Yeah, somehow, some way, it thrown into what was effectively triple coverage, but somehow finding a way to pull that in. And you got to give a lot of credit to just what a dot it was by Kenny Slider in the first place.
2nd and 1. And Slider throws over the middle, caught. Now they taking the page out of the Grizzlies playbook with a quick pass. Pass is caught by number 88, John Branson, the backup tight ends, 1st and 10. Man, he's a big one.
Yeah,
6'3", 274 pounds.
I feel like I've already referenced Jack Wall, but I'll say it again. Just a reminiscent of Jack Wall. Just throw the ball up somewhere and he'll pull it down.
But right now, the Grizzlies had enough of the foolishness there. Tackle made by Sunny Sky and Lucius Carver of the Grizzlies for a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9.
Well, and again, one of the leading tacklers in the league going into this game. It's such a big deal for Tacoma to get that pressure up into the secondary and finish those tackles.
Quick drop, out route, successful. And there's going to be a late hit. You know there's some jaw yapping on that when Richardson makes a great catch, but somebody's going to add 15 yards for his undisciplined play.
Wow.
And it's not even a starter. It's a role player. Number 31 of the Grizzlies decides just to launch his head towards the defender, or towards the receiver, and calls the penalty.
Oh yeah, and after he fall, you can't. It's one thing if you trip and fall on someone, but you can't pull off those after the play NFL blitz dives. Yeah, you'll get called for those every time.
That was legit helmet to helmet too. Well, that's going to cost them big. It's now 1st and 10 at the 18. They're inside the red zone. Out route, not successful. Fullerton couldn't get 1 foot inbounds. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, but showing a lot of confidence. I mean, that route has been there for them all day today. These short little corners toward the sideline. It's worked out fairly well for them. So even though it didn't there, I like the persistence to keep going with it.
Split backs in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the right. A slider. On this 2nd and 10. This be a carry to Lee. Tries to get skinny. Didn't work because Crawford laid the pain. Logan Lee's over 100 yards, but it's now 3rd and 9 after that tackle.
Yeah, and I would imagine in part the big run that we saw from Logan Lee has been the large majority of his yardage. Tacoma have just made it so hard for him to run here today.
3rd and 9 coming up. Go back to the backfield, trips to the right. It'll be a pass to one of those receivers. Not enough for a first down, but at least it'll be a field goal attempt. Griffiths made the catch. A minor victory for the Grizzlies on that one.
Yeah, as we said, the bend don't break is plan A for Tacoma. So what you got to do is you got to finish those tackles when they've only got a yard or two picked up. And, if you do that every time, they only pick up 6-8 yards. That's a stop. It's not the prettiest stop in the world. It's not the cleanest stop in the world, but you prevent them from putting up a touchdown. And as a result, it's only been the big strike by Logan Lee, flash of lightning run, that has been the only touchdown for Lincoln on the day. And so Tacoma, I think, as close as this game is, I think Tacoma have found a defensive strategy that's been working for them for the most part.
And imagine if that late hit didnn't happen. What could have happened on that drive?
Yeah, that's, a best case scenario for Lincoln at that point. You're going for a deep punt.
It looks like that kick by James threw off Lunard there. He had to do his best ballerina impression there to field the kick. Get stopped at the 21-yard line, where Tacoma will start their next offensive possession. And in the second game, Ottawa's leading Madison 14-7 in the first quarter. McCall has thrown 2 TDs in the first 6 games. Now he has thrown 2 TDs in this one. And that's a 1-yard loss on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Grizzlies.
Well, and to talk very briefly about that game, we mentioned at the very top of this broadcast, as sometimes when you're an SFLm team and you're mathematically eliminated, that's when you're the most dangerous, right? Because you're backed into a wall, you've got nothing to lose. You might as well try 100% and rain on the parade of the playoff teams.
Let's see, we go. Pump fake, deep pass to the left. Ooh, what a diving catch! For some reason, Vernon Burris gets the interception. For some reason, Rob Hunt decided not to try to make that catch, and that cost the Grizzlies.
Well, I don't think he was expecting the full Superman layout there. That is just exceptional effort to get to that. I assume he realized that he had underrun that pass, and he was like, "There's no way. There's no way he's going to go for the Superman." And sure enough, that's precisely what happens. And this gets the ball back for Lincoln in fantastic field position.
And this will be a swing pass to the fullback. I love to see it. A 6-yard gain by McCool. It'll be 2nd and 4. And I guess you can say Vernon Burrs must got that mushroom power up we talked about last time we were together, because he definitely flew like he was Super Mario on that one.
Yeah, when you get the cape in one of the 3D games, just like whoop, whoop, just spinning through the air there.
All we need is that star power up, like you mentioned the last time we were together. Logan Lee must have had his last touchdown run, but he's definitely feeling the pain on that one. Combo tackle, led off by number 96 Grossman, and Phil Ignacio with the combo tackle for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, and again, Ben don't break, but really that has amounted to taking away the run game here for Tacoma. Then they've done a good job of it.
And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Grizzlies are trailing by 3, but the Rattlesnakes potentially get a chance to extend that lead. Can the defense of the Grizzlies hold? We'll find out. You're watching the SFLm on the SFL's YouTube channel. 3rd and 4. 2 wide receivers to the left. A slider. He gets the shotgun snap. Throws it to the middle. That should have been picked off, but we got flag on the play. I don't know about this one. This is PI. I would be mad if I was a Grizzlies fan.
Wow.
And it is pass interference on number 41 of the Grizzlies. That is linebacker Carver. I don't think that was pass interference. Will we get a replay of that? No, we will not.
Yeah, I was going to ask where the pass interference was. But yeah, man, these ticky-tack fouls are really haunting Tacoma's defense. I mean, first it was the late hit on the previous drive. Now a bit of a questionable pass interference call. Let's call it charitable to avoid impugning our referees, and that's an early jump.
Yeah, and that will cost them 5 more yards. Man, right now in this second quarter, the defense of the Grizzlies seem to be a little bit shook after that long touchdown run by Lee.
And this is I tell you, partner, this is giving me flashbacks to the Jameis Winston era of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Just you have a fantastic start, you're doing everything right, and then just all of a sudden these like ticky-tack fouls you start committing one after the other and really kind of shoot yourselves in the foot. That's really been the brief synopsis of these previous 2 Tacoma defensive drives.
Yeah, the Jameis Winston era, the worst uniform era of Tampa Bay's career. And that pass is caught for a first down by number 87, Richardson. And it'll be first and 10 at the 25-yard line. But yeah, those digital clock uniforms of Tampa Bay were ugly.
I like the clock number uniforms. I disagree.
But see, I actually hate the creamsicle ones, but a lot of people like them. They're now.
Oh my gosh.
That shade of orange is ugly.
We're going to have a talk about this off mic.
Yeah, that's an out route caught for a 4-yard gain by easy money Fullerton. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tackle made by Matthews.
And again, another really good route run by Lincoln, getting them down towards the sidelines, where just a really good job by Kenny Slider to exploit these routes to the sideline.
Now, I wonder if they're going to make some adjustments in the second half, because the runs inside the middle are not working. It was that outside run that's been working for them. Here's a swing pass, however. That got them to the 15-yard line. It'll be 4th and 1. Great open field tackle. Now, Bradshaw with the tackle on that one. Will they decide to go for it? I would.
Yeah, I mean, you got to work the snap count at the very least. I mean, you know, Tacoma have been very clumsy with these fouls, so but it looks like they're just going to respect them and just go for this field goal here.
This will be a 32-yard attempt for James, as long as it's 49 so far this season. And the snap is down. The kick is underway, and it's good. James is 3 for 3, and the score is now 16-10. Actually, just under a minute before the end of the first half.
Yeah, and this has really been Lincoln coming back here. You know, yet another field goal that Tacoma have been able to hold them to, but it's really becoming tougher and tougher for Tacoma to hold them back. And I really think, you know, eventually they're going to break through this Tacoma defense. I mean, we've already seen once the streak of lightning touchdown rush down the field. I think we're going to start to see them become more and more successful with that each successive defensive drive from Tacoma.
Now there's 39 seconds left for the Grizzlies. Earlier in this half, the pass game seemed to be working for King Jackson. In fact, their only touchdown resulted from a Jackson to Rob Hunt play. But right now they're trailing, can at least march down the field to get a field goal attempt. Now, the Grizzlies do not have a contract kicker, so that may come into play here. We'll find out. Jackson will do a quick pass, and they very lucky that was not picked off. Pass deflection by Howard.
And just a tough takeaway there in the middle by Lincoln. It's been something that's been really successful for Tacoma when they're able to move down the field, is the connection between King Jackson and his receivers, but just taken away there by the pressure from Lincoln.
2nd and 10 at the 23. 2 and 2 with the wide receiver formation. Jackson takes a huge step back, but fires over the middle. Ooh. Caught for a first down by Rob Hunt. Timeout call. Be 1st and 10 at the 40, and that's a good play to extend his drive.
And it's a great pass by King Jackson, but Rob Hunt does a fantastic job to exploit a bit of a gap in the coverage there. That should be double coverage, but they're both playing a little bit back, and so he's able to just extend this route a little further, and he finds himself in a perfect space for King Jackson to just dot him up and get a pretty significant chunk of yardage.
And we got 2 wide receivers to the right of Jackson. He's just a quick step back and fires at the no man's land. Was lucky that wasn't picked off. Maybe Jackson should have dropped back a little bit more, give that route a little bit more time to develop so they got a better chance of completing that pass.
Yeah, as you say, man, and it's really Lincoln showing a lot of effort on defense. I mean, Tacoma's success so far on this drive has not been because of lack of effort on Lincoln's part at all.
Now we got split backs. This has a making of a run, and it is by Jackson. And if he would have just juked to the right, he probably could have had open field there, and now he's in a hurry up. Like you said, you have timeouts. I will use them. They're going to stay in that formation. They're still running. Still not going to call a timeout. Are they content to just let this clock run out? Yes, they are. An odd way to end the first half. The Grizzlies offense just gave up. Decided to go in the halftime with just a 6-point deficit. It's 16-10 with the momentum clearly on the Rattlesnake side. And man, Alden, we're into that first half, but what are your thoughts so far?
Wow. Well, let's look at the numbers here. I mean, a fairly even game, all things considered, when you look at the numbers. But the big statistic that really stands out to me is those 2 turnovers, the 2 interceptions by Lincoln, the one deep in their own zone, and then the Herculean task to go for a Superman leap to lay out for that second one. I think that's really been the big difference. Lincoln looking a lot better towards the second half of that first half than the first half of the first half. And it's really going to come down to, in this second half, I think, how successful are Lincoln at finding space for King Jackson and Rob Hunt, and how successful are they at clearing up the space for Ben Jackson. And if you're Lincoln, I think for the most part, you're pretty happy with what you saw in that first half. That being said, I do think that you need to try to find some more space for Logan Lee. Tacoma have done a very good job at taking away that option for Lincoln, is his ability to run. Besides this huge lightning streak down the sideline that we saw there, he has really been not much of a factor in the offensive game for Lincoln. It's been so far very much a passing attack by Kenny Slider, and I think they're going to look to get Logan Lee involved much more in the second half.
Yeah, I would like to see, for the Rattlesnakes personally, stop running up the middle so much. It seemed like for the Rattlesnakes, their biggest plays has been for the running back, either a swing pass to the outside or a run to the outside.
Yeah, and you've got fantastic blocking, so really that's that, handoffs to the outside, even tosses to the outside, I think could be effective if you're able to get those big numbers up front.
Now here's the thing. It looks like the Rattlesnakes will have a chance to double dip since they scored a field goal at the end of the first half. They'll get the ball to start the second half. With the Commissioner Cameron Irvine back in SFL headquarters, you got the Baltimore crew calling the game. This is T-Roy Gaines and Alden Bleeker. And here we go to start the second half. Griffiths fields it inside the 10 and gets sent to the Shadow Realm by number 94, Paul Vaughn, the first true Shadow Realm sending hit of the day. It'd be 1st and 10 at the 26 for the Rattlesnakes.
Yeah, and as you said, that's a good call. That a chance to double dip for Lincoln, and they're going to be looking to set the tone for the second half on offense here. They're going to look to get Tacoma rather on their back foot and keep them there.
And it's to be a pass over the middle that should have been picked off, and it wasn't. Oh, no. Plenty of Grizzlies defenders had a chance to come away with that potential INT. Instead, the ball falls harmlessly to the turf.
And almost an absolute disaster for Lincoln. First play of the second half and an interception that would have been so huge for Tacoma. Again, just you got to secure these interceptions when there's so many people around them.
You got 2 and 2. Wide receiver set for a slider. This is an out route. And he was able to get 1 foot inbounds. That's full into Mr. Easy Money, making it a more manageable 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and it was the pressure coming in from number 90 on Tacoma. That is that's Darko Young, the defensive end, forced the quick decision there, and fortunately had that route towards the sidelines that's been in their arsenal all day there.
3rd and 5 at the 31. There's a quick pass, caught for a first down. You can say ching ching because that's the sound of Easy Money with that reception.
And again, you know, it's really been, I think, remarkable how much Lincoln have been able to incorporate their passing attack. You know, not just those routes to the sideline, but able to play tall ball up the middle, just sort of loft the ball generally somewhere in the atmosphere of the earth, and your receivers are going to pull it down.
1st and 10. Looks like it's a potential blitz. Instead, they backed off. That's a carry for a 2-yard gain. Well, they did listen to me. They did run to the outside, but it was only a 2-yard gain. Matthews helped with that combo tackle.
Yeah, and that's really, I think, a sign, as I said, that they're starting to think outside the box to try to get Logan Lee involved. As you say, you know, tosses, handoffs to the outside, really welcome.
It'll be a swing pass to Lee. Nice spin move.
Ooh.
Giving his best Warren Murray, heck, his best BDG Hollywood impression on that reception. Is 1st and 10 for the Rattlesnakes.
Yeah, and it's a great pass to Logan Lee, and just a fantastic block. Look at this spin move, and then goes to the outside of the block. Normally, your instinct as a runner would be to go towards the inside of the block and try to find a hole up the middle, but he makes the much smarter, the very high football IQ play to go around the block and run these blue shirts into that block. That is just such a high IQ play.
Ooh, but that was a high IQ play by the defense. Tip drill. Successful. Harris with the INT.
Oh, man. And he gets this up and he gets it himself. Am I seeing things? Really seems like both teams have been trying on these interceptions to set up combo interceptions, but it's just such a fantastic job to sit right on top of that route, tip it up and grab it himself, and making a play for Tacoma. Tacoma get the ball back.
And Ben Jackson gets a carry, goes up the middle, stiff arm, and he has open road ahead. Can they catch him? They will not. Ben Jackson with a great touchdown run, and the Grizzlies have some potential to take the lead pending the extra point.
Ben Jackson puts his man on the Heisman Trophy on his way down the field. I mean, we're going to see this again, and you're going to be seeing this on SFLm highlight reels for years to come. Get off me. Hits the stiff arm button all the way down the field. Nobody in front of him after he threw his man down to the turf. That is some fantastic power for one of the shorter backs in this league. That is fantastic stuff. Fantastic play by Tacoma to strike back. And hey, you know, Logan Lee got that fast rushing touchdown earlier in the game. This might be Tacoma saying, hey, we can do that too.
And think about that. Ben Jackson made 4 people miss on that spin move, and then the exclamation point was the stiff arm.
Quite literally the Heisman pose.
And that will result in a 1-point lead for the Grizzlies with 8:54 left in the 3rd quarter. Have you ever wanted to be the play-by-play or analysis broadcast on an SFL live game? The SFL is looking for passionate SFL participants or viewers like you to join the team for minor league season and ahead of season 21's kickoff in July. Please visit simulationfl.net/broadcasting for more details on how you can get involved and get your voice on the call. And right now, the momentum has swung back to the Grizzlies side. They're up by 1 with 8:50 left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and that was just such a fantastic occurrence for Tacoma to get the ball back and just to shove it deep into enemy territory like that. This is going to be Lincoln, I think, maybe coming out onto the field a bit rattled here.
Yeah, no pun intended. We'll see what the Logan Lee can do. Whoa! What a nice series of spin moves and jukes to get 9.9 yards on that reception in 2nd and inches.
I'm sorry. I thought we were playing football, not recording an and one mixtape. I mean, my goodness, put the basketball mixtape moves on there. That was just ridiculous agility.
This has now been a running back show. And that pass is caught. So they say, hold up on that running back show. That pass is caught for a first down by Chris Aubert.
My goodness, this has been quite the response from Lincoln after that quick score at the other end of the field. I mean, you almost run out of verbs, nouns, and adjectives to put in combination at a certain point.
We'll see if they're going to leave us speechless right here on this play. Well, nothing wrong with the great pass and that great run after the catch by Mr. Ching Ching. Easy money, 9 yards on that reception.
I mean, my goodness, Lincoln are just putting on a show. It's as if they saw that judo throw to set up the touchdown run by Tacoma, and they're like, okay, what can we do now with the ball in our hand? Let's do some Harlem Globetrotters football team stuff.
This looks like it's going to be a swing pass. It is. Logan Lee, what can you do now? Woo! Oh. He juked somebody off his jock strap but got sent to the shadow realm by Mark Grossman, but that's not after a first down on that play.
Yeah, and man, Logan Lee just showing that not only is he a great rusher, but he's so agile and so versatile. I call it agile, and just so dangerous at pretty much all points of a passing play.
We got a quick pass over the middle. First off target of this drive. Pass was intended to Caleb Griffiths. It'll be 2nd and 10, and Logan Lee earlier in this game went over 800 yards rushing, meaning he's definitely over 2,000 yards. Sorry, not 2,000. 1,000 yards of total offense this season. He's been a definite dual threat for the Rattlesnakes. 5 wide receivers set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. No backs in the backfield for Slider. They're definitely going to throw this ball. Over the middle, caught for a first down. Pass is caught by Griffiths. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 26.
Man, and as much as the spectacular play by Lincoln is really something to behold, I think this is just as typical of their successes on offense. A great job running this little corner out towards the middle of the field. Nothing particularly flashy compared to some of the theatrics that we've seen Lincoln pull off on this drive, but very, very effective. They just keep moving the sticks, whether it's by hook or by crook.
Well, Logan Lee will get the carry, and they will finally stop him from putting people, having them breaking their ankles with those spin moves and those jukes. Great job. It'll be a 2-yard gain. Great job by the defense of the Grizzlies.
Well, I mean, it's really been Logan Lee just so effective on this drive at incorporating these runs and swing passes. I mean, I'm breathless, and I'm up here in the booth. I can't imagine how tough it is to deal with for the Tacoma defense.
And it'll be a swing pass to Lee. Can the blocking help him? No, but he didn't need the blocking. Those jukes and spin moves are... Oh, this has been a clinic by Logan Lee on this drive with those jukes and spins.
See, if it was an and one mixtape, you would just see like clips like this where just hit a record scratch every time he hits a spin move and sends someone to the sidelines. I mean, Logan Lee it's you know, you never want to accuse someone of showing off because he's clearly a professional, clearly showing up to do his job, but he's certainly having some fun while doing it tonight.
We'll see. He's going to get the chance to have some fun again. Yes, he will. Uh-oh. There's a penalty on the play. Couple of spin moves there, but we got to see what the penalty's about. Could this be a late hit on the QB? Let's see what Ref 62 says. If it is, it'll be another devastating penalty against the Grizzlies. No, it's a holding penalty. That's actually going to help out the Grizzlies. Holding by number 69, Taylor Noel. They're going to say that's no bueno on that holding penalty.
Yeah, and that's really been kind of the first misstep all drive by Lincoln. You know, as much as the drive has kind of come in bursts and chunks, they really have moved so well down the field this drive.
I like the matchup at the near side right there, but instead they only hand it off to Logan Lee. He said, "Let me cook." He gets 10 yards on that carry, averaging well over his normal average. It's 9.5 yards a carry. He came into today's game averaging 6 yards a carry.
And even when it's just to get them back to where they started, Logan Lee not quick to give up, still giving 100%.
And the Grizzlies defense bend but don't break, or is momentum really on the side of the Rattlesnakes? This looks like it's going to be a swing pass coming. No, it's not. It's going to be a run. Logan Lee with another shifty move for a 4-yard gain. Be 3rd and 6.
Oh man, that little stutter step there, just in the middle of the field, not even spinning or running these crazy routes, just making his marks miss. I mean, this has been something special by Logan Lee this drive.
Logan Lee's kind of reminded me of, I'm going to go way back, the Bears' Gale Sayers with all these jukes and shifts and moves. But right now, that's a quick pass for a touchdown by Griffiths. That's his 2nd touchdown of this SFLm season. And, man, Lincoln has momentum clearly on their side.
And it took them a long time to get the 2nd touchdown compared to their 1st. But what a fantastic job by Lincoln to make an emphatic statement, to make, dare I say, an artistic statement with this passing connection between Kenny Slider and Logan Lee. Logan Lee showing that he feels perhaps a bit underestimated, and he's been such a big part of this offensive comeback for Lincoln, as has to a large part Kenny Slider. I mean, it's just the Lincoln now starting to not only do what they do well, but really to fire on all cylinders. And this, you're starting to see a team, starting to see a machine, a well-oiled machine functioning at its highest order.
Now the score should be 23-17 Lincoln with 3:56 left. This kick is by Lunar, a return by Lunar, trying to do his best Logan Lee impression with that spin move. Gets it to the 27-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies.
And this is a chance for the Grizzlies. They need points here. Grizzlies, as I covered in my notes, have gone deeply negative going into this game. Minus 56, that's 90 points for, minus 148 points allowed, and they need to strike back here.
Ooh, and Ben Jackson sent 2 people in the shadow round with the forearm shiver. A 9-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 1.
And this, it's a great run just up the middle. And that is, I think Tacoma really looking to mirror what Lincoln did on that drive. Maybe not try to be as flashy, but just as efficient as Lincoln was this previous drive.
Here you go, 2nd down. Carry by Jackson. He stopped. Just get an inch on that carry. Luke Swift led on the combo tackle. Luke Swift, the 2-way player from Las Vegas.
Yeah, and it's really as much as the tackling in the secondary is a big deal for Tacoma. It's really something that Lincoln can do when they're successful at sending the pressure, and they need to keep doing that.
And look at that, King Jackson gets the 1st down, and it'll be 1st and 10. Really, the Grizzlies really don't have to get a huge splash play on this drive. They just march down the field, score a touchdown, and be just as effective, and help their defense out after that long drive that they were a part of on the previous possession.
Well, and as we saw on the previous drive, sometimes it can take Lincoln a while to get down the field, but all the more reason to keep the ball out of their hands for as long as you can. I think they're happy just to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, and they're happy that reception was made by Arrowlet, a 9-yard gain, and we got a scoring update in the third quarter of the Ottawa versus Madison game. It is now Ottawa 21, Madison 7. And McCall threw 3 touchdowns in the first half after only throwing 2 touchdowns in the first 6 games. Ottawa is doing a great job against Madison. Ben Jackson's doing a great job against this Rattlesnakes defense with another punishing run. It's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Yeah, as we said at the very top of this broadcast, you gotta, it can be easy to lose sight of the small stuff in the SFL. And, when it comes to situations like this, trying to secure your spot in the playoffs, you can only control what you can control. You gotta win tonight, and then you keep a close eye on the San Jose and Albuquerque games. If you win and both those teams lose and you're Lincoln, and you're in. But right now, you just gotta focus on what you can do, not what other teams have got to do.
Right now, Ben Jackson just went over 100 yards rushing with 107. Well over 600 yards for the season for Jackson. It's now 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and Ben Jackson, as I mentioned previously, partner, I think one of the most understated running backs in this draft class, but one I think a lot of teams should take a look at.
Ooh, and what we should also take a look at is that great catch over the middle. What a great catch by number 46. That is Albert Russell, one of the backup tight ends at 6'6", 260. A tall glass of water.
Yeah, well, and the tall ball, like we said, up the middle, it's something that's been historically successful in the SFL, and we're seeing a little bit of it at the SFLm level. Just put your tallest receivers up the middle and just kind of put it up in the air. Someone will pull it down, either your team or the other team.
Great pass by Jackson to Hunt. That's almost the same play that got them their first touchdown. And that will be the last play of the third quarter. We get a replay? Let's get a quick replay on this one. What a great pass and great job by Jackson buying some time.
Yeah, just the out route toward the corner, and he beats 2 men, as you say, almost went for 6.
And everybody put your 4s, 12s, 86s, and 68s up. We have reached the end of the third quarter, getting ready to start the fourth quarter with the Grizzlies driving, but they're trailing. It's 23-17. You're watching the SFLm live on the Simulation Football League's YouTube channel. With the commissioner, Cameron Irvine, back at SFL headquarters, you got Alden Bleeker and T-Roy Gaines here calling this exciting game where Ben Jackson is sniffing that end zone. He's now at 112 yards rushing. It'll be 2nd and goal. And everyone, this summer you can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, the emulator 4K23 in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at GoRetroid.com. Search SFL or through the all-new league website at simulationfl.net. Retroid, the official console of the SFL. And Ben Jackson's trying to make this the official score, but the defense of the Rattlesnakes is having nothing of it. It'll be 3rd and goal. Tackle made by Monzuma.
Yeah, and I think, again, as I mentioned earlier in this game, I am an advocate of going for it on 4th, even when you shouldn't. I think this is 4-down territory for Tacoma, because if Lincoln get the ball back, they're just going to drain as much time out of the clock as they possibly can.
I agree with you, but unfortunately that lead fullback of the Grizzlies decided not to block. Dwayne Will missed on that block, and that allowed Zeus Howard to have an open shot on Ben Jackson.
That's tough for you and me to watch, partner. It's tough for me to watch as an offensive line player, and it's tough for you to watch as a fullback. Yeah, just Zeus Howard able to find his way into the pocket, a block missing up front, and they're going to take the field goal.
Yeah, a little bit further out. They don't want to risk not coming away with points. So Paul Trent will be back for this potentially 22-yard field goal attempt to cut the deficit to 3. Snap is low, almost blocked, but the field goal is good, and it's a 3-point deficit with 9:19 left in the game. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and consistently refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, please visit apmmusic.com. Right now, Griffiths, who scored a touchdown the last possession, has just returned that. To the 26-yard line will be 1st and 10 for the Rattlesnakes, who still have momentum on their side.
Yeah, absolutely. Momentum on their side. And this is the drive. If Tacoma have ever needed a stop, they need one here. Lincoln gonna be trying to get a score that would theoretically put this game out of reach. They're gonna be trying to run time off the clock. And the bottom line is, as Tacoma, you need the ball back no matter how you get it. Ideally an interception on this first play. That would be ideal.
Right now, it's a swing pass to Logan Lee, who's been doing just that, making the first man miss consistently. A 4-yard reception. Slider's just 1 yard away from 200 passing in this game.
Yeah, and both of these quarterbacks have really had, I think that's really what's driving this kind of back and forth game, is that both King Jackson and Kenny Slider have had such good games under center, and it's really kind of, they've both been able to dictate the tempo, and both defenses have struggled a bit.
And there's a quick pass caught to the 34-yard line by Mossam King. What threw me off is that could have been a late hit on a QB, but the ref decided to ignore that one and let them play.
Yeah, we saw what we characterized as a bit of a charitable call towards Lincoln earlier. Perhaps the refs making up for a previous missed call.
3rd and 3. Quick pass, caught for the first down. Chains move. Ching, ching. Easy money with the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the thing that can be a bit tricky about playing bend don't break as your plan A sometimes, is that, you know, typically your secondary is sitting a little further back, just waiting to react. And an instance of it there where they just have to sit beyond the sticks, able to wrap it up within a yard or two of the conversion, but not quite able to make aggressive plays like they normally would like to.
And this will be a quick pass over the middle, caught for a 1st down. Pass is caught by Richardson. Another 1st down, and the clock is now the enemy of the Grizzlies.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said, Lincoln, you do not want Lincoln to get the ball back in their hands if you're Tacoma. I mean, not only are they going to bleed the clock dry, I mean, just mentally, I think, you know, in terms of keeping your team mentality high, I mean, you know, you've lost a game by 1 score last week as Tacoma. I mean, I just wonder if, at what point you start feeling like the flashbacks coming in.
Well, they have to get over that hump, and one way to do that is stop Logan Lee for a 1-yard gain. Clay with the tackle is a little bit slow to get up, so maybe Lee brought the pain on that one. Second and 9, I formation. 2 wide receivers to the right, a slider. As he drops back the pass, it'll be another swing pass to Logan Lee. Instead of just juking somebody, he decides to take the best point. What's the quickest way to one destination? A straight line.
Straight line, yeah. I believe I learned that in geometry in high school, yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to just truck somebody.
And does a great job. I mean, again, just a bit of a mature mentality, sort of goes for the move where you're just trying to get it across the pylon, except rather than the end zone, it's just reaching out, putting the ball across the sticks there, putting the 1st down over his personal statistics.
1st and 10 at the 39. Another time-consuming drive. Oh, we got and that's the turnover they needed. Crawford recovers the fumble of Logan Lee, and hold up now. We'll see what the Grizzlies can do here, as they got a chance to either tie it or take the lead.
Okay, well, let me pick my jaw up off the floor here. I mean, it's a great hit, and oh man, it just sort of rolls like a loose rugby ball, sort of rolls over toward Tacoma. And it's almost like the football gods decided, you know what? No, Lincoln's not just going to march down the field and run out the clock. Tacoma's going to get one more chance.
Let's see if they can make the most of this opportunity. We got a flag on the play. Since this play kept going, it's going to be offsides. So that'll negate that loss. Undisciplined play by the Rattlesnakes, unless Ref 62 says otherwise. And it is.
Wow.
On Anthony Robertson, neutral zone infraction negates the tackle for loss, and instead it'll be 1st and 5.
And it's basically, we talked about how this game is mirrored. It's sort of like what happened with Tacoma, just all the ticky-tacky fouls. I mean, you're certainly, if you're the defensive coordinator of Lincoln, beating it into their heads not to do what Lincoln were doing earlier.
This will be an outside run to Ben Jackson, who already had a huge touchdown run earlier. Gets it to the Lincoln side of the field at the 42. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies.
Oh, man, and Tacoma are starting to march down the field. I'm starting to think that this is going to be one of those games that it comes down to Lincoln having to kind of put up or shut up, and how appropriate in a game where Lincoln could theoretically, with some help in the other games, book their spot in the playoffs.
We go 1st and 10. Jackson's doing a good job letting the clock melt. Hopefully it won't come back to harm. It'll be an out route that should have been picked off. That was close to be a pick 6. Howard had a chance to do it. Instead, it'll be 2nd and 10.
I am going to lose. I can feel myself losing my voice from all these exclamations of just sheer surprise. So much back and forth, so many ups and downs, so many moments where this game feels like it's balancing right on the edge of a cliff.
Huge step back by Jackson. Fires it down the middle, and oh no. That is one of the backup wide receivers. You see why he is a backup, Martin Fallworth. And remember I said earlier, Alden, that they should be wearing gloves?
Yeah, and I said
he's wearing gloves.
And you got to listen. I know it's not sportsmanlike to use stickum, but at a certain point, you gotta make an investment in your team.
Let's see. Maybe we got 2 and 2, and number 19 is out there again. This could be another throw to him. 3rd and 10, a huge 3rd down for the Grizzlies. It's a huge step back. He needs to get rid of it. He does not. Great job by the defense. Brooke Burr entering today's game as the 2nd leading sacker in the SFLm. Calls the end of that drive.
Yeah, looking like she was going to get her 5th to tie for 1st, and oh man, tuck rule ?
Right.
That looked like it was going to be a fumble in return, but tuck rule, I guess, comes into effect.
The Rattlesnakes defense bailed the offense out, and Griffiths wisely let the ball roll into the end zone, so they'll start at the 20-yard line. And on Wednesday, June the 28th, witnessed the best of the best from season 20 battle it out in the SFL All-Star game before the top 4 teams in the SFLMs this season take the field in hopes of advancing to the SFLm championship game on Friday, July the 7th. Action starts at 7:15 Eastern on SFL YouTube as we really wind down the end of the All-Pro football era. Here's the carry by Logan Lee, a 3-yard gain. Crawford with the tackle. He already has a fumble recovery. They're going to need another turnover in the worst way with 5:20 left in the game.
And I think that's something, as you just mentioned, I think that's something that's in a lot of these players' minds, that this is really kind of the end of an era for the SFL and the start of an exciting new one. But to be the last SFLm champions of the All-Pro era, I think really is something that's going to be so special for the set of young players that are able to add that title to their resume.
Right, because the SFLm will be the last league, not the pro, but the minor leagues will be the last league that touches that at least get a championship in the All-Pro football era. So I'm glad I get to witness that after starting in the All-Pro era myself. 3rd-and-1, a huge third down for the Grizzlies. And what a great job by number 41 Carver. He committed a penalty earlier in the game. He comes through for his defense on that one, and they will force a punt.
Yeah, and oh man, both of these teams just looking for one final stand, one last string of plays to hold on to the ball and either rally back and score, or in the case of Lincoln, hold on to the ball long enough that Tacoma become a non-factor. But just such a big stop for Tacoma to get another chance.
Ooh, and that was almost a block. Instead, Lunar gets a chance to return it and gets wrecked. Probably loses a couple of yards. If he would have just waved his hand for a fair catch, he would have been giving Tacoma better field position, but they'll start at the 35. So you're saying, Alden, that maybe they were looking for one shining moment?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No further comment.
I won't torture everybody with my horrible singing. 1st and 10. There's the familiar 4 wide receiver set, 2 and 2. As Jackson making adjustments at the line. Huge step back, quick out to the near side. Caught for a 5-yard gain by Gibson. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Man, and just another great route to the outside. That's been something that's just such a big weapon in the Tacoma arsenal all day long. But now we're starting to see, or in the Lincoln arsenal all day long, excuse me. And now we're starting to see Tacoma mix it in.
2 wide receivers with Ben Jackson, the lone back in the backfield. On the 2nd and 5, he'll get the carry. And when you go sideways, you help the defense out, especially when the O-line didn't want to block. That's a loss. It'll be 3rd and 7. Tackle made by Clay.
Yeah, and that's really kind of the goal of the Lincoln defense, to just send so much pressure that it forces the offensive line to make impossible decisions, and they get around the pocket. But that's just, again, what we see there.
And we have a penalty, so at least they'll get one more shot if this doesn't convert to a 1st down. And you know what? That actually would help Lincoln, because if they would have picked that off, that would have been a huge blow to their ego. Instead, it'll be a 3rd and short coming up due to the offsides. Yeah. Well, be real. If they didn't go offsides, that would have been the end of the drive. So they at least, the Grizzlies will get one more chance to convert 1st down.
Yeah, and again, just really Lincoln trying not to commit these kind of ticky-tacky fouls that Lincoln had to deal, or that Tacoma had to deal with, excuse me, in the previous half. And that's so tough. This is such a makeable 3rd down.
3rd and about 3. 3rd and 2 as Jackson gets the carry. And the defense line does a great job pushing the O-line back, allowing the linebacker number 52 with the tackle for loss, and it'll be 4th and 2.
Well, at the risk of being proven wrong a 3rd time, I think this is definitely go for it territory, and they're not going to. They have so much faith in their defense to get this ball back.
And they did a great job the last 2 drives, but yeah, I would have gone for it with just 3 minutes left in the game. And the Rattlesnakes will start at their own 26-yard line. Let's see if they can melt some clock away.
Because just from like a clock management perspective, right, it's going to be Lincoln now able to, assuming they're able to get a 1st down or 2, effectively burn that 2-minute warning as a timeout that Tacoma really are hoping to use as a 4th timeout. And then they can just kind of melt the clock away, use up the other 3 natural timeouts.
And that's a 5-yard gain on that carry. Looks like that was the same play that allowed Logan Lee that 89-yard touchdown run. He gets 5 on that one. It'll be 2nd and 5, and look at that clock melt away.
Yeah, and I just imagine every single tick of that clock, loud and mechanical, but probably sounds like each one a gunshot directly in the eardrums of these Tacoma players.
They need another turnover in the worst way. We'll see if Lincoln can continue to melt this clock. Great job by Slider, not snapping the ball until the very end. And it'll be a swing pass. Caught
Oh,
just short of the first down, however. Pass is caught by Richardson. It'll be 3rd and inches.
wow. And that's so big for Tacoma. That looked like it was going to be destined to be a first down. And the measurement of things come out. And so this ball is spotted right on the stick.
And we have reached the 2-minute warning. Can the Tacoma Grizzlies defense hold or prevent Lincoln from getting the first down? We're about to find out. You're watching the Simulation Football Minor League on YouTube. 2 minutes left. A huge 3rd down for both teams. This will be a nice run to the outside by Logan Lee. He wisely stays in bounds because that forces Tacoma to take their first timeout. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rattlesnakes.
And that was a big aggressive move up the middle for Tacoma. I didn't quite see the number on the shirt. It flew by too fast, but hopping the middle, trying to hop the offensive line of Lincoln or Tacoma, just trying to make a play.
Split backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers to the right, a slider. This should be a carry of the lead. However, it is. Spin prematurely after a 2-yard gain. Tacoma burns their second timeout. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And this is the final battleground for Tacoma. This is this is where they need to get a stop. This is Thermopylae. This is the mountain pass being held by the Spartans. This is their one and only chance to finish off this battle with Lincoln that this game has been.
We got a pass attempt. It's caught. Not enough for the first down. That'll be their last timeout, and we got another 3rd and 1 coming up. All there with the reception.
And it's Tacoma making their stand. As I say, it's their very last opportunity, no timeouts. And so this clock is going to run very, very, very low. Oh man, but it's doable, especially if they get a swat or even better, an interception. They could certainly put it in field goal range at the very least, using a combination of hurry up and spiking the ball.
It should be a run. If this is a pass, I will be shocked. 3rd and 1. Outside run. First down and more. Logan Lee bounces the outside. He could put the game away. He legitimately put the game away. That's coffin nails, and the Rattlesnakes will now increase their winning streak to 3.
Well, and this is a win for Lincoln that is not easily earned. I mean, I compared it to the Greco-Persian Wars, to the war between the Spartans, and that really has what it has felt like all game long is the classical battles of antiquity, just back and forth, and both these teams doing what they know they do well and trying to throw off the other team, but just so many choke points to defend, so many different angles of attack, and ultimately Lincoln able to pull through. They get the win that they need, and now for Lincoln and their fans, it's all eyes on these later 2 games in our schedule. If San Jose and Albuquerque both lose with this win for Lincoln, Lincoln will book their spot in the playoffs.
And slider, we'll probably have to kneel it one more time before we call it game. And great job by Lincoln. They faced adversity. They were trailing at 1 point 10-3, but they just kept at it, never gave up. That long touchdown run by Logan Lee seemed to be the turning point of this game, and then the defense just kept Tacoma from scoring any more points in the second half, and that results into a 5-2 record for the Rattlesnakes, while Tacoma will fall to 1-6. So both teams' respective streaks continue. Unfortunately for one, they did not want that to continue. And we look at the stats here. Now, one thing I can say, both running backs, Jackson and Lee, came to play. Both quarterbacks had good games as well.
Yeah, it's very even statistically. When you look at the statistics, it is very, very even. But it's those 2 interceptions for Lincoln, I think, came in extremely vital times. And it's not just that. Oh my goodness, this huge run. We're going to be seeing that on all the SFLm season end of season highlight reels. My goodness. But it was really just a case of Lincoln doing what they can, and it really came down to, I think, an experience advantage for Lincoln, for a mentality advantage for Lincoln. And I think Lincoln have proven that, you know, we can survive, you know, these tough battles against tough teams and come out on the other side victorious. Even when there's interceptions given up and tough fumbles like that threaten to unravel everything, they can still hold on.
Wow, they did show the fumble. This man deserves the player of the game. Logan Lee, well over 200 yards of total offense with 1 TD in the books. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in with the Commissioner Cameron Everett back at SFL headquarters, and my partner Alden Bleeker alongside me. This is T-Roy Games. We thank you for tuning in. Please stay tuned. There's more SFLm action coming up. Have a good weekend.